In order to see what I'm about to explain, I think it's important to do a kind of exercise. So first we can experience or at least see what I'm trying to refer to. Some of this language and this language can be confusing and esoteric in ways because we're essentially pointing to something, or if anything, if we're pointing to something, it's the one thing that doesn't have any form. This is why it's always so difficult and confusing in religious texts and spiritual stuff, and it's so misinterpreted and misunderstood. So, if we look at our own experience, so try this right now with me. Look at everything that you can experience. So, first thing I notice is sensation, the sensation of my hands on the table. I then notice color. There's colors and shapes everywhere that I can see. I can smell, I can hear. I can also think. I see thoughts coming up. And I'd like to point to what it is thought adds to experience. So if I look at the first thing, if I'm looking at what I'm looking at, I can look around and I can just see various arrays of colors. It's just color everywhere. But then my mind labels these colors as certain shapes or certain objects: laptop, mouse, desk. But without these thought labels, it's just simple arrays of color everywhere. It's the same with sensation. I can feel the sensation of the desk in my hand, but if I just feel into the sensation without any thought, it's just sensation. There's no hand. It's just a sensation, and this can be all around the body. Any sensation, even the body, is something that our minds have labeled. So we can see how thought adds information. It adds to experience in a sense, kind of making it a little more confusing, but it also can help us navigate the world. So if we look at our experience, what part of the experience are we? Are we our sensations? Are we our body? Are we the colors that are around us? Are we the sights, smells, sounds? Are we thought? Out of all these experiences, which of them isn't real, isn't true? It's thought. If we look at our thoughts, it's just this information, this energy that comes up that creates a type of experience. It can create a picture, it can create words, it can create emotions in the body, it can create sensations. It adds to experience. Without thought, everything is quite simple. It's just sensations and colors, sounds. But we can step one bit back and have a look at what is experiencing these things. What is experiencing the thoughts that come up? What is experiencing the sensations and the colors? If I'm not the sensations, if I'm not the colors, and if I'm not to be found in my thoughts, I must be the thing that's experiencing them. I am kind of the light that illuminates the experience of thought, sensation, sound, color. And this light has always been there. It never changes. There's never a moment when this light is affected in any way by anything, because it is the illumination factor. It is not the experience itself. It just allows for. If we sit for a moment and we just watch our thoughts, there's two ways that I can experience these thoughts. I can experience them as the witness of them, or I can experience them having overtaken me, being inside the thought. There's no distance, it's just thought. If I experience these thoughts without any distance or without witnessing them, it becomes very confusing and chaotic. I don't know when it's going to end. I have no sense of anything. It's just stressful. But if I witness these thoughts, I bathe them in this light, this awareness that I am, I can watch them fade. I can watch them come and go like clouds. I am like the infinite blue sky, watching the clouds move past, unaffected by them. Addiction is the identification with thoughts. We have certain ideas as a human being. It is very common where we think that we're lacking, that we need something to be better, that we're not whole as we are. Our thoughts will tell us this, whether they come from us, from our family, from society, everything. We all have these thoughts where we think something is wrong and we need to do something to make it better. These are our thoughts and sensations telling us this. So if we identify with these thoughts, we will believe that something needs to be added to our experience, that our experience is not enough and we need to add something externally in order to make it better. So we're identified with thought, we're stressed out and confused, so we think of a drug that will change the way we feel. So we get our first drug, we take it, we drink it, whatever, and then a massive imbalance is caused. Our state is changed the first time. We feel really, really whatever, relaxed, high, peaceful, whatever it is, temporarily, and then the body needs to survive, so it creates an imbalance again. It will withdraw its own happy chemicals. It will release mechanisms that protect you. And in order to correct the imbalance, the body then goes into an imbalance in the opposite direction for a much longer period of time. Always the negatives are worse than the positives with drugs. Always they drain you more than they give you. The first shot or the first toke or whatever it is will produce an enjoyable experience, but then it just produces an imbalance which you want to correct by taking more of the drug. Some people go their whole lives doing this. The drugs will never give you what you want. They will create their own pain, which we use them to resolve the pain that they're causing us. The more we do this, the deeper down the rabbit hole we get. If we were to not be attached to thought in the first place, we would see that our experience is fleeting, that we are peaceful if we just allow experience to occur rather than be identified with it. We can feel terrible in the moment, but it doesn't last that long because we are not identified with the stories. We allow it to come and go as needed. If we were to take a drug, then the drug wears off, we then get a craving for more. We recognize that this is not good for us. There is no rational ending to this process. So we just need to witness any urges that come up and let them flow. Then we would not do the drug ever again. The only reason we do a drug is because we get cravings to do the drug. The only reason we get cravings is because we've done the drug. if thoughts come up telling you in any support of taking any substance whatsoever, we just need to witness them from a distance, bathe it in your consciousness, and watch it flow. The more times you do this, the better it gets. The more times you do this, the better your life gets. Your future will get better and better. We can practice this through meditation. Set a timer, sit there, do not move, do not follow any thought, just witness all sensation, all mental movements, everything. Practice this. This simple, difficult, but fundamental skill is what we need to overcome addiction. By my definition, addiction can be anything because it's just an attachment to a story in the mind. The mind produces sensations that make it feel even realer. We just sit back and watch it come and go. We are not identified with these stories because they are not what we want. They are not who we are. Who we are is peaceful. We are that loving, conscious entity that witnesses all experience. The more we sit as this entity, the healthier we become. Thanks, guys.